Hey everybody, welcome back to Idiot Proof Cooking. Today we're going to be reverse searing a steak. Now I stumbled across a blog called Serious Eats, and J. Kenji Lopez Alt basically described the way in which to reverse sear a steak. It looks like an awesome way to do it. Now from what I understand is you have to have a nice thick cut steak to do this properly, so I went and picked up a 2-inch bone-in prime rib steak. So without any further ado, let's get into it and cook this steak. Alright, so the credit to this recipe goes to J. Kenji Lopez Alt. However, I have also seen Binging with Babish do this recipe as well. So what you'll want to do is take a rimmed baking sheet with a wire rack, place your steak on top of it, and generously coat both sides in kosher salt and ground black pepper. After you've generously coated both sides with salt and pepper, let it sit at room temperature for about half an hour, at which point in time you'll notice that the steak has absorbed a lot of it. So here's the plan. Preheat your oven to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. While the steak is still on the wire rack, throw it in the oven for about an hour. What you'll want to do is measure the internal temperature and take it out when the steak registers about 15 degrees lower than what you want the final temperature to be. Alright, time to talk about searing it. So what you'll want is a nice cast iron pan to do this. When the steak is about to come out of the oven, crank the heat up to high on your best burner and put in about a tablespoon of vegetable oil into the cast iron pan. Let that heat up for a couple of minutes because you're going to need the pan to be super hot to sear it. And here is the steak. So as you can see, when it comes out of the oven, it looks kind of gray and gross, but the internal temperature is about 115 degrees Fahrenheit, which by the end of it will register about 130 degrees, which is what you want for a rare steak. Throw in a clove of garlic and start the searing. Now you can throw in some fresh herbs if you want, like some rosemary or thyme, but I'm a man of simple tastes. So for searing, what you'll want to do is about 45 seconds to a minute on each side. Now again, like I said, you have to make sure the pan is super hot to do this. So sear for about 45 seconds to 1 minute on each side. After I flipped it once, I threw in about a tablespoon or more of butter and let that melt. Continue flipping the steak after about 45 seconds to a minute until you've seared all sides of it. After you've seared all sides of the steak, lay it down, tilt the pan, grab a spoon, and start basting the steak in the melted butter. This is going to make it taste amazing. After finishing basting the steak in the butter, take it out of the pan, put it on a cutting board, and cover with tinfoil for about 10 minutes to let it rest. After 10 minutes or so, uncover it and you're going to have one hell of a gorgeous looking steak. See, look at that thing. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Holy crap. I can't wait to cut into this thing and eat it. Cut the meat away from the bone for the presentation. Now I say this and then I do a piss poor job of presenting it, but cut it down the bone and slice it up into nice strips. Alright, so as you can see here, I'm dicing it up into strips so that I can eat it. Not really worried about the presentation so much. But as you can see, look at just the nice redness of the meat. It's right in between a rare and a medium rare, and it's fantastic. It's even better when you added the ketchup in afterwards, because as we all know,
it sets off the flavor of a steak like some ketchup.
Jesus, I'm just kidding. Oh my god. Can you imagine eating steak with ketchup? Oh. Listen, if any of my viewers like putting ketchup on their steak, please leave a comment so that I can appropriately shame you. But that's the end of this episode. If you like what you saw here today, please leave a comment, like the video, maybe subscribe. Thanks for watching Idiot Proof Cooking.